Have you ever wondered why some students thrive in traditional classrooms whilst others flourish in online environments? The answer might lie not in the students themselves, but in the fundamental learning theories that shape our educational approaches. Behaviorism and constructivism represent two distinct philosophical approaches to learning. Behaviorism, championed by psychologists like B.F. Skinner, focuses on observable behaviors and external stimuli. Constructivism, influenced by Piaget and Vygotsky, emphasizes that learners actively construct their own understanding through experience and reflection. In traditional classrooms, behaviorist principles manifest through structured rewards, clear expectations, and systematic reinforcement. Consider the classic scenario. A teacher praises students for correct answers, implements point systems for participation, or uses timed drills for multiplication tables. The strength of behaviorism lies in its clarity and measurability. Students know exactly what's expected, and teachers can track progress through observable outcomes. Research from the Journal of Educational Psychology shows that behaviorist approaches can increase student engagement by up to 40% in structured learning environments. However, this approach has limitations. It often neglects the internal cognitive processes that make learning meaningful and can create dependency on external validation rather than intrinsic motivation. Digital platforms have embraced behaviorist principles through gamification, progress tracking, and automated feedback systems. Learning management systems award badges, display progress bars, and send notifications when students complete tasks. The scalability of behaviorist approaches makes them particularly suited to online environments. Automated systems can provide immediate reinforcement to hundreds of students simultaneously, something impossible in traditional classrooms. Yet, the same limitations persist. Online behaviorist approaches risk reducing complex learning to mere point accumulation, potentially missing the deeper understanding that students need. Constructivist approaches in traditional classrooms emphasize collaborative projects, problem-based learning, and student-led inquiry. Teachers act as facilitators rather than lecturers, encouraging students to build their own understanding through discussion and experimentation. The power of constructivism lies in its recognition that learning is an active social process. When students construct their own knowledge, they develop critical thinking skills and deeper understanding. Studies show that constructivist approaches can improve long-term retention by up to 60% compared to passive learning methods. Digital environments offer unique opportunities for constructivist learning through discussion forums, collaborative documents, and virtual simulations. Students can engage with peers worldwide, access diverse perspectives, and create multimedia projects that demonstrate their understanding. However, constructivist approaches online face significant challenges. The lack of physical presence can make collaboration more difficult, and the abundance of information can overwhelm students without proper guidance. The effectiveness of behaviorist versus constructivist approaches depends heavily on context. Behaviorist methods excel in teaching foundational skills and procedural knowledge, whilst constructivist approaches shine when developing higher-order thinking and complex understanding. Research from the British Educational Research Journal indicates that hybrid approaches often yield the best results. Combining the structure of behaviorism with the depth of constructivism can address the limitations of each approach whilst maximizing their strengths. The most effective educators recognize that neither behaviorism nor constructivism holds all the answers. Instead, they adapt their approach based on learning objectives, student needs, and available resources. In face-to-face settings, this might mean using behaviorist techniques for skill acquisition, whilst employing constructivist methods for conceptual understanding. Online, it could involve gamified elements for motivation, alongside collaborative projects for deeper learning. As educational technology evolves, we're seeing new possibilities for combining these approaches. Adaptive learning systems can provide behaviorist reinforcement whilst creating constructivist learning pathways tailored to individual students. The key insight is that learning theories are tools, not doctrines. Effective educators select and combine approaches based on what works for their students rather than adhering rigidly to any single philosophy. The debate between behaviorism and constructivism isn't about choosing sides, but about understanding when and how to apply each approach. Whether in traditional classrooms or digital environments, the goal remains the same: creating meaningful learning experiences that help students achieve their full potential. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, keep exploring the fascinating world of educational theory.